winning goal in Game 6 the prior year. His Islanders were entering the 1981 season as the defending Stanley Cup champions, and that presents a situation where everybody comes at you a little bit differently, don't they, Bob? Do you remember specifically thinking that in a game?
Well, I did, and I remember, you know, you would think that there were some easy games during the course of the season, and, you know, the year before we had plenty of easy games. Mm-hmm. You know, there was upstart teams and teams that really weren't challenging and that weren't that great. But all of a sudden there was the New York Islanders, the Stanley Cup champions coming into town, and everyone was ready for us. I mean, everyone just came out to play. They played
There was
hard.
a noticeable difference?
I think that there was, yes, definitely. And it kind of had to keep us on our toes. You know, Al, I think, let us go a little bit during certain parts of the season. He always gave us a little bit of rope. But then all of a sudden, come just before playoff time, he'd start tightening it up a little bit and pulling back on the reins and getting us focused into what we had to do to really win.
Can you describe the difference in training camp as the season began when you were defending the Cup as opposed to the prior year when you hadn't won the Cup yet?
Yeah, it was probably tougher.
It was, right, to get focused again?
Well, not even that. It's just that Al was probably the most unpredictable guy I've ever met. You know, we'd go out, we'd win a game 7-2, and he'd come into the locker room and he'd kick garbage cans all over the place. I mean, you just never knew what to think. And it was interesting because I remember the training camp as I thought it would be a little bit easier, and I thought Al would kind of let us go a little bit. And he was all that much tougher, expecting us to probably come in as fat cats a little bit.
For the first time in their young history, everyone was gunning for the New York Islanders as they began their defense of the Stanley Cup. The year, of course, was 1981 in the National Hockey League.
Individual achievements were awesome during the 1980-81 NHL season. Wayne Gretzky of Edmonton rolled up 109 assists and 164 total points to topple records held by Bobby Orr and Phil Esposito. The Los Angeles Triple Crown line of Charlie Simber, Dave Taylor, and Marcel Dion became the first ever with all three line mates achieving the 100-point level in a single season. But the most spectacular assault centered around a record that dates back to 1945. It was 36 years ago that Maurice Richard registered 50 goals in 50 games. Now, in 1981, there were two players chasing that fabled plateau. Charlie Simber of the Kings fell one shy with 49. Mike Bossy of the Islanders had 49 with less than 2 minutes remaining in his 50th game.
And the 10 goal for Quebec around his off Richard. He dumped it to the line. Here's Trautwig with it. Trautwig is checked by Rochefort. Ryan Trautwig on the right wing board. Tried to set up Bossy in front, but that was cleared. Right to Trautwig to Bossy. Shoots. He scores! Mike Bossy has his 50th goal. A standing ovation. 50 for Bossy. A minute 29 left in this game.
There were goal stoppers as well as goal scorers. Goaltender Mike Liut sparked a revitalized St. Louis Blues team to a first-place finish in the Spice Division. Fans were treated to an improved level of competition as new stars evolved and young teams matured in torrid battles for playoff spots. Toronto clinched the last available playoff berth in the final night of action. Hockey fever swept Calgary and Quebec City, and 80-81 was a season to remember for fans all over North America. In the personal honors department, Molson Cup winners were Kent Nielsen of Calgary, who finished third in the NHL in scoring. Defenseman Larry Robinson of the Montreal Canadiens, who enjoyed another fine season. Dave Christian, the leading scorer for the Winnipeg Jets. Richard Brodeur, the outstanding goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks. Will Paymont and Darryl Sittler wound up in a tie for Molson Cup honors in Toronto. The seventh and final Molson Cup winner was Wayne Gretzky of the Edmonton Oilers. There can be no question of Wayne who, after Gretzky and the Oilers shocked the Montreal Canadiens right out of the playoffs with a 3-game sweep in the opening round. Gretzky and company advance to challenge the New York Islanders and give the defending Stanley Cup champions all they can handle in a thrilling quarterfinal series. But New York's playoff experience is too much for Edmonton to overcome, and the Islanders prevail in 6 games. Buffalo goal celebrations were not plentiful enough in their quarterfinal matchup with Minnesota. The heavily favored Sabres are buried by an avalanche of North Stars goals. The Stars upset the Sabres in 5 games. Craig Patrick is the general manager and coach of the Rangers. Emil Francis, who spent many years in Patrick's seat, is now GM of the revamped St. Louis Blues. The Blues, second only to the Islanders in total points, discover that the playoffs are a new season. The Rangers, led by the goal scoring of Ron Duguay, follow up their upset of Los Angeles by surprising the Blues in 6 games. The Philadelphia Flyers are a tired hockey team. Pushed to the limit by Quebec in the opening round, they fought back from a 3-1 deficit to force Game 7 against the Calgary Flames. But the red-hot goaltending of Pat Riggin and the Calgary power play short-circuit the Philadelphia comeback. It's yet another upset as the Flames advance to the Final Four. The Battle of New York is the rivalry of rivalries. Anticipation of the Islanders-Rangers semifinal has the Big Apple in an uproar. The collision of the locals produced superlative hockey in a major upset 2 years ago. But this year, the Islanders are bent on revenge. The champs leave no doubt as they blow the Rangers out in 4 straight. Meanwhile, the Minnesota North Stars ride back-to-back shorthanded goals to victory in Game 1 in Calgary. That's the only road win in this semifinal series. The rapidly maturing Stars regain the vital home ice advantage and refuse to let go. High-scoring rookie Dino Ciccarelli and Steve Payne lead the speedy North Stars to a berth in the Stanley Cup Final. An accomplishment that surely surprised the hockey world. But what about Minnesota coach Glenn Sonmore?
I am a little surprised. I think we perhaps thought this team was a year or two away from reaching this level.
The Islander fans approach the finals with an overwhelming air of confidence.
5 games, the Islanders. We like to sweep. Islanders in 5. Complete shutout, 4-0.
I think overconfidence, like everything else, is a state of mind, and we're a team that has really accepted the fact that hard work is going to overcome.
Hard work is the Islanders' trademark. In playoffs filled with upsets, the Islanders enter the finals flying high with a playoff record of 11 wins, 2 losses, 71 goals scored, and only 32 goals against. Indeed, the Stanley Cup champs are well prepared for the defense of their crown. Doesn't take long for the Islanders to get going. Dave Bonjamin's long drive is tipped in by Anders Keller. With the first goal of the series now a part of history, the hitting game picked up for both teams.
Yeah, it is. It's not up.
Referee Andy Van Helleman penalizes Bob Bourne for spearing. A 5-minute major and a golden opportunity for the North Stars' potent power play to turn the game around dramatically. Minnesota plots strategy, while the Islanders call upon Butch Goring, penalty killer extraordinaire. Goring, Brian Trautwig, Anders Keller, and Billy Carroll up front, combined with Dennis Potvin, Gord Lane, Dave Bonjamin, and Ken Morrow on the back line to effectively kill time while New York is shorthanded. Billy Carroll steals the puck at the red line and creates an offensive thrust for the Islanders. Carroll to Trautwig, goal! Coach Al Arbor warns there's still time on Bourne's penalty. Don't let up. And the shorthanded unit of the well-drilled Islanders remains in control. Butch Goring describes their penalty-killing philosophy.
Really just a lot of timing and trying to harass that timing. Our main concern is to kill off the penalty first, and anything that happens after that, we'll try to take advantage of it. Certainly if we can get the opposing team to make a mistake, then, we try to capitalize on it. But we don't gamble. Like I said, our main goal is to stop them.
Although they're geared to prevent goals, those skills lead to goal scoring. The Islanders have already set a new Stanley Cup record with 8 shorthanded goals in these 1981 playoffs. And now, Brian Trautwig combines with Anders Kaller for number 9. The North Stars can only be frustrated, while the Islanders have an entirely different feeling, as described by Brian Trautwig.
I like the feeling that we have on the Islander team right now. I look into everybody's faces and I get the same feeling of wanting to win, of wanting to go out there and do your job the best you possibly can. We don't have to rely on Al to come into the room and stomp his feet and shake his fist at us and try to push us a little further. We're doing it amongst ourselves, and that's making us a team, and it's such a good feeling.
The Islanders' team spirit is typified by goaltender Bill Smith. From his vantage point at one end of the ice, Smitty loves what he sees in front of him.
They are probably the best hockey team I've ever played behind. They just seem to be so solid on defense, and our team has the ability to put 6-7 goals in if they have to.
Paced by their 3-goal uprising in period 1, the Islanders do score 6 times. The North Stars answer with just 3, and the Islanders claim the opening contest.
This is ESPN Classic. This is what a sentence can look like to a child struggling to read.
I can't read.
Now there's a solution. The new Hooked on Phonics, a simple 3-step reading system where children see it, say it, then read it. It's so effective, 9 out of 10 parents say it works.
To order Hooked on Phonics or for more information, call 1-800-ABCDEFG. We promise you and your child's teacher will see dramatic improvement in just 4 weeks or your money back. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
The Mantis Tiller Cultivator is changing the way Americans garden. The Mantis weighs just 20 pounds, so it's easy to carry and operate. Yet the unique patented tines and powerful 2-cycle engine lets you cut through hard soils and dig down to 10 inches deep. Mantis is so easy to handle that weeding and cultivating, even in tight places, is a snap. And with the optional Mantis attachments, you can dig furrows, trim hedges, aerate and dethatch your lawn, cut professional-looking borders, and remove weeds from cracks. Mantis' superior performance and rugged dependability is backed by a 2-year warranty and a lifetime warranty on the tines against breakage. So you get years of trouble-free service. The Mantis Tiller is on sale, so call now for your free no-obligation information pack with details on our 1-year money-back guarantee.
Jackie.
Well, Jackie, I'd like to know if there's a man on first and second, and there's a fly ball hits the outfield, there's a big wind, and it throws the ball towards the infield. The first baseman's under it, but the outfielder yells and keep off. The outfielder dives the ball but doesn't get it. The ball goes into the outfield. All 3 men score. I would like to know, are there any outs? And if there are, how many men score?
Wow. Benny, you got a question.
Minnesota turns the goaltending duties over to 19-year-old Don Beaupre for game number 2. New York wastes little time testing Beaupre, but he's equal to the task in the early going. Perhaps inspired by the youngster in goal, the North Stars begin to build some confidence, and Dino Ciccarelli's power play goal gives them the lead. Islanders, unaccustomed as they are to a deficit of any size, answer immediately with a power play goal of their own. Trigger man Mike Bossy is open. Mike McEwen finds him, and the game is tied. The Islanders forge an advantage as John Tonelli's forechecking and strong-armed work in the corner sets up Bob Nystrom for a sharp-angled shot that Beaupre has no chance to stop. Potvin adds another goal, and it's 3-1 before Beaupre settles back down and begins stonewalling the Islanders in the second period. Brad Palmer, another 19-year-old rookie, gets the North Stars back in the game at 3-2. Neil Broughton is off on a solo dash down ice as the second period clock ticks away. Broughton's shot beats Bill Fritz, but not the clock, as time expires just before the goal is scored. Moments into the third period, the North Stars do get the equalizer as Steve Payne converts a rare Bill Fritz error. Out from behind, the Islanders return to their work ethic, putting constant pressure on Beaupre and the North Stars during a power play. Clark Gillies distracts the defense in front, while Dennis Potvan's shot reclaims the lead. Now it's Minnesota's turn to dig in and attempt to rally from behind a second time. But it's easier said than done against a team with the Islanders' class. Ken Morrow's soft shot slides through, and it's 5-3. The North Stars get a final chance to retaliate as Dennis Potvan's penalty puts the Islanders 2 men down for 1 minute and 27 seconds. With Trautwig and Potvin, 2 premier penalty killers in the box, Coach Al Arbour calls on old reliable Butch Goring. The hard-hitting, hustling Islanders join Bill Smith in a team effort to keep the North Stars scoreless for the duration of the penalty. When the power play expires, Brian Trautwig and Mike Bossy team up to put the icing on the cake. Trautwig and Bossy, a magic combination for the New York Islanders, and a joy to behold for Coach Al Arbour.
Well, Brian is like the foundation of our team. He's the type of player that does everything well.
Mike Bossy is a goal scorer with impeccable credentials, and Al Arbour explains why Bossy is so uncanny.
Well, Mike has got that sixth sense. In all the years that I've watched hockey, he's got the quickest hands I've ever seen from anybody. It seems like he shoots the puck before it even touches the stick.
Brian Trautwig couldn't agree more and enjoys his working relationship with Bossy.
Mike has a great desire to shoot the puck and want to shoot the puck, and that gives me the incentive to give him the puck. It's easy to get up for a game because you know that Mike every game wants to score goals. That makes me want to play better. And the two of us kind of push each other, and it's fun.
While Bobby Nystrom helped define the character of the New York Islanders, there were a lot of characters on this team. One of them, of course, was Billy Smith, who was not one to take part in the Stanley Cup playoff handshake at the end of a series. Billy was mean with his stick, but when it came to stopping the puck, he was almost a scientist. I remember talking to him in those days how he'd use electronic devices to work on his hand-eye coordination, and he was really the guy that was the backbone of the defense, right?
Yeah, there's no question about it. You know, the one thing about Smitty is come playoff time, you never talked to him, you never bothered him, you never said a word. And I think that probably our shooting habits in practice changed a little bit also because we knew how much he meant to the team in the playoffs. And, you know, like we used to always object to Smitty because he used to stand on the one post and give us a whole net. And we used to get so aggravated that we'd actually try to put it in the short side, you know, or even up high. And, you know, come playoff time, all he did was really basically eat, sleep, play hockey, and that was it. And I think that he was just so focused. He would sit in this, you know, like we had little cubicles that we sat in the locker room, and he would just recess into that, and he was in his own world, just focusing on exactly.
Dominating year for the team, Bob. You sweep the Rangers, you go up against the Minnesota North Stars. I know you'll probably say it was a tough series. What do you remember about it being tough?
Well, I think the guy that I played against, but also Dino Ciccarelli. He was a big story. He was a comeback story. He had broken his leg, and no one ever thought that he would ever come back. And he just really lit it up during the playoffs. And, more than anything else, the whole city was behind that team. They had the Dino Dinosaurs, and interestingly enough, I think that everyone underestimated that team. Sure, we were able to beat them, but it was a hard-fought series, and they had a lot of physical, tough players. I played against Steve Payne. I don't know if you remember him, but he was just the biggest guy. It was just impossible to move him.
And you know what's great, and this is one of the reasons I love looking back like this. You mentioned Dino Ciccarelli, who was a big factor in the finals, and as you watch hockey today, there's Dino Ciccarelli still out there. Anyway, we'll reminisce a little bit more with Bobby Nystrom as we look back on classic sports at the year 1981.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Deerdorf. Where would you go for a home equity loan? Let's ask. Well, banks have the best rates.
But banks only lend money when you don't need it.
Advanta National Bank is different. They lend money to people when they need it.
Right. With my credit?
They made their first loans 45 years ago to teachers who had trouble borrowing. They helped out when others wouldn't.
This is a bank, right?
With customers who get the flexibility only a national bank can offer, right over the phone.
Got to move all your accounts there.
Nope, just call Advanta. One of their loan specialists will show you how to use the equity in your home to pay off all of your bills. Get one low monthly payment and save hundreds of dollars a month, plus a tax deduction.
You'll wait for some board to approve.
You'll get fast approval over the phone. And your money in about 10 days. You don't need to have money in the bank to get money from a bank. To get the loan you want, call Advanta at 1-800-225-9822. You'll see they're different. Hey, they don't keep bankers' hours either.
Old school like Cassius Clay.
6 or 7. You did it 7. I had him going in 8. I was getting ready to take him in the 8th, as you can see. But the man stopped it just to keep him making me look so great. I say, now, give us that poetry on number 7. He wanted to go to heaven, so I took him in 7. You took him in 7. Oh, I'm the king of the world. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
Are you old school?
You know all those stories you hear about how good it was and how much fun we had and how young we all used to be, about how much it all mattered and how much we all cared and how no one has ever done it higher or faster or harder or better. All those stories you hear, they're all true.
The entire faculty agrees. Few minds will ever match the brilliance of Russell Hollenbeck, valedictorian, class of '92.
Russell, he wrote that great thesis about why the NFC always dominates the AFC in Super Bowls.
He was also a natural leader. Remember that campaign he led against the reinstatement of instant replay?
No way! Replay! No way! Replay! No way! I like to think he's somewhere making a difference.
He's open. Pick him up. Fullback missed his block. Hey, can we get cable in here?
One would also have to believe the Islanders' trip to Minnesota was fun, too. Arriving in the Land of Lakes with a 2-game advantage, the pressure is now on the home team to bounce back. But the North Stars fans are not quite as confident as the Islanders fans were.
North Stars tonight. The home crowd will bring them back tonight. They better play better than they did the last time.
The Minnesota fans may be skeptical, but Stars coach Glenn Sonmore is very much aware of the Islanders' finer qualities.
They just never seem to be able to be deterred from what they're doing. They never deviate from their game plan, I guess you'd call it, and they just keep coming at you and at you and at you, better than any team in the business.
As game time approaches, the loyal Minnesota fans fire up their heroes with deafening encouragement. Gilles holds off the Islanders' attack, while his teammates more than hold their own in the opening minutes. With a power play opportunity, Steve Kristoff carries behind the net and passes the puck out to Craig Hartsburg on the point. Hartsburg back to Kristoff. Kristoff's shot is deflected in by Cicerelli. Down 1-0, the Islanders start to use their body, but the North Stars will not be intimidated. North Stars remain on the offensive as an Al McAdam to Tim Young to Steve Payne combination creates a picture goal. The Gillies-Trotwig-Bossy line back check. Bossy steals the puck from Kirk Giles and carries down the left sideboard. Bossy draws the puck past Hartford, shoots, and scores. Bossy's 16th playoff goal puts him back ahead of Steve Payne and cuts the Minnesota lead in half. But the North Stars are not the least bit discouraged. Steve Payne slides the puck out to Hartford. Hartford's shot deflects off Bobby Smith. Goal! After a Bob Nystrom goal narrows the margin to 3-2, the curtain goes up on the Butch Goring Show. Dennis Hotband passes the puck over to Goring. Goring shoots, and the game is tied. Now Goring carries into the Minnesota zone on a one-man rush. North Stars break up the play, but Clark Gillies steals, and Goring bats in a rebound to give the Islanders a 4-3 lead. A key goal on a broken play, and Butch Goring describes the action.
We were still killing the penalty at that particular time, and they tried a rink-wide pass, and, hit the linesman, and, that happens at time, and we just took the puck down the ice. I made a play out in front of Billy Carroll, but Minnesota had come back and covered up, and then I think it was Tim Young tried to stick hand past Clark Gillies, and Gillies checked him and got a shot on net, and of course the puck went high in the air, and I batted out of midair, and it's kind of a strange circumstances, surrounding the whole goal, that's for sure.
The Isles lead 4-3 at the end of two periods, but the Met Center fans refuse to surrender.
Come on, Stars! Go, let's go, Stars! Come on, Stars!
With just over 1 minute gone in the third period, the North Stars respond as Kristoff and Young set up Steve Payne. But it seems every time Steve Payne scores, Mike Bossy answers with one of his own. Bossy puts the Islanders back on top 5-4. Prolific goal scorers know where and when scoring opportunities occur. Mike Bossy explains the play.
If Brian was going to get hold of the puck, it was my job to be in position to receive the pass. But once I did get the pass, I looked up and Milosh was hugging the post, and it was fairly an easy shot to take because I had a lot of the net to shoot at.
It's just unbelievable how quick you let that thing go. He doesn't give you time to set up, so I'm pretty sure that the only way to stop him would be to have somebody on him constantly, because he doesn't give a goaltender time to set up, and it's almost impossible to stop the shot.
After the teams trade late goals, Glenn Sonmore pulls Milosh to go for the equalizer.
Timmy, on the point, Archie on the point. Timmy's on the point.
But it's the Islanders who come up with the puck, and a 2-on-1 break with the empty net dead ahead. Bossy and Trautwig polish off a 7-5 win that devastates the North Stars and their fans.
On the next Chap One-on-One, one of the winningest coaches in college football history, Joe Paterno.
Tell us, share the secret. How do you win within the rules? We have a built-in discipline. We have a built-in commitment to the program.
Joe Pa looks back at over 30 years with the Penn State Nittany Lions.
This career, which goes on and on, could you have imagined this at all when you were playing college football? I think I never want to be a coach.
Paterno's Chap One-on-One, tonight at 7, only on ESPN Classic.
The battle for world hockey dominance continues as North America takes on the world in the 1999 NHL All-Star Game. Gretzky and Messier! He scored! Make sure your favorite player gets there. Pick up your Wendy's NHL All-Star Vote 99 official ballot at the arena or vote online at yahoo.com. For All-Star updates, visit NHL.com. You could win a 1999 Dodge Durango or Intrepid and other great prizes. Vote now, vote often, so your favorite player's on the ice in Tampa.
Keeper's teacher in school suggested the Hooked on Phonics program for him. Hooked on Phonics really took him to the next step of wanting to be able to read and making it so he could do it. His teacher noticed right away a real difference in his reading. The program made it so he had a good time learning to read.
To the shed. No dogs.
Hooked on Phonics really did work for us.
Call now. See dramatic improvement in just 4 weeks or your money back. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
An off day finds both teams attending the annual NHL Stanley Cup Luncheon. The Adams Trophy is presented to St. Louis Blues coach Red Berenson as Coach of the Year, and Blues forward Blake Dunlop receives the Masterton Trophy. Back to work, and the devoted Met Center fans stimulate the North Stars, as does the return of hard-hitting captain Paul Schmier. Stars are using their bodies all over the ice. Everyone gets in on the hitting. The Islanders are the first to hit net as Gord Lane scores. North Stars fans are concerned. The Islanders are on the verge of a sweep, and Bill Smith is at the top of his game. But the courageous young Stars, led by Neil Broughton, Steve Kristoff, Al McAdams, Steve Payne, and Craig Hartsburg, apply incredible pressure. The puck appears to be sealed in the New York end of the ice. Brad Maxwell's shot is in. Or is it? Referee Andrew Van Helleman signals for a penalty, but no goal, and play continues. The dispute proves to be of no consequence as Craig Hartsburg shoots and scores.
penalty you were calling though. Steve, I asked the guy and he said the one I have up canceled. Yeah. And the one they both canceled.
John Beaupre makes a big save on Popvan's blast, and the defense clears the rebound. Brad Maxwell and Steve Payne assist Al McAdam on a classic play. Goal! But the Islanders tie the score, and as the third period begins, the Met Center is wrapped in tension. The North Stars are up against the wall. Elimination may be just 20 minutes away. The Stars carry the action to the Islanders with Kevin Maxwell centering for Payne and McAdams. Brad Maxwell's shot is tipped in by Steve Payne. The replay shows Steve Payne bumps defenseman Bob Lorimer to the ice and then gets the tip-in tally to put the North Stars on top with less than 8 minutes remaining in the third period. Looking for an insurance marker, the North Stars wrap it up on Bobby Smith's goal, setting off celebrations in North Star country.
Behind the net to Sanderson. Bobby Orr scores in the box.
This is ESPN Classic. Swing music is back. And everybody's dancing to Swing America, the 42 biggest hits of the swing era, guaranteed to make you jump, jive, and win.
Company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B.
You'll get the great big bands, the legendary singers, and those fabulous songs.
I got nobody.
This is the definitive collection. Everybody swings. Louis Armstrong, Woody Herman, Cab Calloway, Tony Bennett. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got Swing America. To order, call the number on your screen or send check or money order. 2 CDs, $26.99. 2 cassettes, $21.99. Rush delivery available.
Check out the ESPN Classic website at www.classicsports.com for listings, stories, and the chance to tell us what you want to see on ESPN Classic.
Back on Long Island for Game 5, Islanders fans remain confident and are prepared for a coronation.
It's all over tonight.
Smith fends off the North Stars with clutch saves in the opening minute. As Bob Bourne forechecks, Greg Smith's attempted clearing pass takes an Islander bounce. Good scoring, shoots, and scores! The Pinelli-Merrick Nystrom line continues the ferocious forechecking. Only 25 seconds after Goring's goal, Wayne Merrick takes a perfect feed from John Tonelli, and suddenly it's 2-0. Good scoring and Clark Gillies join forces for yet a third New York goal at the 10-minute mark of the initial period. The Islanders will not be deterred from their second consecutive Stanley Cup. The only remaining question is Brian Trautwig's scoring streak. Limited by injury, Trautwig takes one final shift, wins the faceoff, and gets the assist on Mike McEwen's goal. Trautwig extends his playoff point-scoring streak to a record 18 games in 1 year, 25 games in 2 years. And the Islanders become only the 6th team in NHL history to capture back-to-back Stanley Cup. Joy reigns on Long Island. Wins the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player of the Stanley Cup playoffs. NHL President John Ziegler presents the coveted Stanley Cup to the victorious Islanders, and there can be no doubt about it. The New York Islanders have not only achieved 2 consecutive Stanley Cups, they have also earned the admiration and respect of the entire hockey world, with the beginning of what many feel may very well blossom into a full-fledged dynasty in the years to come.
Well, in a bottom-line sense, 4-1, with relative ease, the Islanders win their 2nd consecutive Stanley Cup. And I know you'll never say it was easy. Let's go to then maybe your best memory after the 2nd Cup had been won.
Well, I think that after it was won and the series was over, you know, you always like to put it by the wayside, but then I felt that the Islanders owned the Cup, and we weren't going to relinquish it for quite a period of time. That's just the sense that we got. I felt that we had an excellent hockey team, and I thought that there would probably be, you know, a couple of changes to maybe bring in some young blood, but I thought that we had a chance to go at for a few more years.
Bobby, you told us one of the great disappointments you had after the first Cup was that you did so many interviews, you never got a chance to touch it during the on-ice celebration. When the buzzer sounded and you guys had won the 2nd Stanley Cup, where'd you go?
I was there, right next to the Cup. I wasn't taking any chances. I wanted to be able to put that up. I wanted to have a photo of that, of myself carrying the Cup on the ice. And sure enough, I still have the photo, and I do sign it occasionally for autographs. But I was right there, right next to the Cup when they presented it to Denny.
Well, when the buzzer sounded and the Islanders had won their 2nd consecutive Stanley Cup, it wasn't the end of anything. It was simply an era that was continuing as the Islanders dynasty in the National Hockey League. Thanks to Bobby Nystrom as we reminisce about 1981, and we'll see you again soon on Classic Sports.
Are you old school? Old school, like Earl the Pearl, shaking and baking.
Mark Fidrich. It's Bobby Orr. Joe Lewis, old school. Old school is Paul Bear Bryant.
Mini Escobedo.
Like Pistol Pete.
Illy Funkster socks.
Black socks. Short shorts. Definitely old school. Old school like me. Julius Irving.
Dr. J.
Running down like in the 70s with a big afro. Got it going on. I can play basketball with anybody. Now that's old school.
Funerals are a very difficult thing for a family to go through. Besides the sorrow, loved ones are left with the decisions and the overwhelming details of arranging a funeral. And funerals can cost thousands of dollars. That's why the Mature Life Plan was formed. It relieves families of the worry, cost, and confusion over funeral details by providing cash for final expenses.
This is the kind of plan that gives you peace of mind.
With the Mature Life Plan, everything's done by mail. There's no medical exam, no health questions, and you can't be turned down for coverage. Your rates will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled. Call, and we'll send you free information about the Mature Life Plan. You have absolutely no obligation. Find out how you can protect your loved ones. Call now.
To receive free information, call 1-800-883-5995.
Golfers, would you like to play better golf immediately? Is your goal to break 100, 80? How about shooting par? With 3 seconds to better golf, you can quickly learn this revolutionary swing technique. It's that simple.
If you want more power, more accuracy, and more consistency, right away, there's only one place I know you can find it. Mike Wine's 3 seconds to better golf.
Mike Wine has discovered the secret to keeping the club head squared through impact. He'll teach you the secret using his easy-to-learn 3-second drill. Amy Grant was invited to play in the 1998 Bob Hope Classic.
One of the first fortunes I was placed with, it was Arnold Palmer. And all I could think was, thank you, Mike, for some simple tips.
So call the number on your screen and order now for only 2 easy payments of $19.95. Your game will improve immediately or your money back, guaranteed. If you call now, you'll also receive a $50 gift certificate to a 3 Seconds to Better Golf teaching clinic, absolutely free.
If you need to play the best golf of your life, you need Mike Wine's 3 Seconds to Better Golf.
Think it's easy to imitate those classic